Have you ever wondered whether it's time to shut down your business? Hey, welcome. My name is Jacqui, and there was a discussion happening on my page where there was a lady who talked about being broke and not having resources. So she was asking, like, how can we, as entrepreneurs, she was feeling, I could tell from her message, she was feeling like things are really tight right now. And somebody else responded and said that the thing that prevents entrepreneurs from succeeding is the fact that they're not very organized and all that. So it started this discussion, and I thought it's a good time to actually have the discussion on whether you should close down your company. Like, is it something that you need to do, like shut down your company, or is it time to actually pivot? And a lot of the times, we are told, don't give up, you need to persevere. But then there are times when it's actually necessary to shut down one thing so that you can look at what you learned from that thing and then backtrack and create something better, or change that thing to something that's more useful. So that's the discussion I want us to have today. So I'm glad I can see Jane is here. I can see Jean-Jacques. Hey, Jean-Jacques. Wow, fantastic. Good to have you here. So let me just point out a couple of things that I would like to, like, in as far as looking at whether you need to shut down your company, right? So one of the things that would be useful for you to do is to go back and ask yourself, why did you actually start your company? What problem were you solving? Because sometimes the discouragement comes from not realizing why you started, or not having that same passion because you're not making any progress. And it's a lot like I imagine if you're married and you proposed to your wife in the past for a reason. So sometimes when she pisses you off, you need to go back and say, okay, why did I marry her? Like, just to get back to that point where you're like, stay focused on the mission. So ask yourself, why did you start your business? What problem were you solving? Because if you just started a business to make money from transferring goods from point A to B and then making money in between, that's fine for a short period of time. But if you're looking at, and if you started your business to make a real difference, then go back to your mission and ask yourself, okay, why did I start my business? Is this the right tool, the right business to get me to my mission? Because sometimes, like, if you look at some of the companies that have failed in the past, let me use Kodak as an example. So if you look at Kodak, and the reason they failed is because they forgot that their mission was to help people capture memories in picture. And they started to look at why they were in business as a manufacturer of photos and picture and stuff that you need to develop pictures. But the mission was actually to help people capture memories in picture. So it should have been easier for them to pivot into digital cameras, but they didn't, because they felt that moving to digital cameras, even if they were the first ones to patent that technology, they felt that moving to digital cameras was going to compromise their other business, which was contributing to most of their revenue. So for you, it's the same thing. Like, if you have a mission, let's say like what I've just said with Kodak, it's helping people capture memories. If you have a mission, then you have this business that you thought would help you achieve your mission, then it's not helping, or something has come in and disrupted it, then it's time to change the business, but stay on mission. It doesn't mean giving up on your mission. It's just time to change and say, okay, I've been disrupted, things have changed, people are no longer doing this based on COVID, or the situation has changed, so I'll just change the way in which I do this business. Like, I'll start looking for that solution, as opposed to focusing so much on the problem or trying to kick a dying horse. Hey, welcome, Austin and David. Awesome. Yeah, so instead of kicking a dying horse, it's better sometimes to just look at it and say, okay, how badly is this horse injured, and do I need to actually shut down, or do I need to change it? And as I said, shutting down your business doesn't mean giving up on your mission if you had a mission to start with. Now, if you didn't have a mission, then it means that you started a business that is very temporary, and that's fine. Sometimes you see an opportunity, you run after it, you make your money quickly, and you get out, right? Right, guys? Let me know. By the way, in the comments, put it in the comments, put the stuff that's awesome. Thanks, David. Put what's resonating for you. Ask me questions if you have any. So around your mission, like you've got your business, which is supposed to deliver on your mission. So it's your business is not, don't look at your business as the mission. Look at the mission as the thing that you're changing, the world that you're making better. That's your mission. Now your business is just a tool. It's just something to help you achieve that thing. So if the business changes, that's okay. It can change, but stay on mission, right? Yeah, so that's something that I wanted to share with you, because sometimes somebody is thinking, oh, should I change my business? Should I close down my business? You can shut down your business. It's not giving up if you don't pick yourself up and change to something else or pivot. And that's what pivoting is about. Actually, interesting enough, pivot, I learned, I didn't know this, but pivoting is a basketball term where you keep one leg firmly in one place as you move the other part of your body. You move the other leg and you move the other part of your body in a different direction from where you were going. So you kind of surprise the person who maybe was coming to take the ball from you, and then you pivot. So pivoting, the mission is where your leg stays. So it's okay to just pivot and change direction, but stay on course for your mission. You just have to come up with a different way of delivering. And the reason I'm saying this is because I know some people are struggling because your business has changed, your industry has changed. You're thinking, we no longer do, maybe you're a tour and travel, maybe right now you're a restaurant and you've been shut down and you didn't have any infrastructure for takeaway. Maybe you're an event organizer and you're trying to figure out, do I shut down my business? So, and there are very many other businesses that have been affected. But you have to stay on the mission. Pivot, but keep that leg on the mission if you had a mission. Now, if you didn't have a mission, that's fine, because you can still come up with something and decide, what's the better future that I want to create? Like, what will be better in the world because I lived? Like, for me, it's making sure entrepreneurs are educated differently on how to do their marketing well. Like, for me, that's my mission, and I'm very clear about it. And it doesn't matter whether I have to pivot at some point. I'll just continue doing it to stay on mission, to make sure that the education we didn't get when we were in school, even if you studied marketing, like I studied marketing, but then when it comes to running a business and the marketing that you do in your business, completely different. So that my mission is to help educate entrepreneurs, and specifically African entrepreneurs, because we deal with very difficult conditions. So that's my mission. If I have to change in the way I educate, if I have to change on the topic, whatever it is that I have to do, I will do it to go in, but still remain on my mission, right? And so that's the first thing. The other thing I want you to consider for yourself, hey, welcome Isaac and Humphrey and Gyra. Innocent, okay, Innocent is easier to pronounce. Yeah, so the second thing that I wanted to bring up is the issue about your business and the problem that it's solving. So one thing you have to ask yourself is, how painful is that problem that you're solving? Because you have to be solving a painful problem for people to still want it irrespective. Like, for example, did you stop buying toilet paper just because there was a lockdown? Exactly. Like you still need toilet paper. You need some of the things that you need. Like, maybe it's wine, maybe it's whatever it is that you need. You still continue to buy it because you have that problem, irrespective. So if you're solving an important problem, like you're solving an issue where people really need it, like it creates a positive change within people's lives, let me tell you, it does not matter what the case is. People will come after you. They'll be banging down your door. They'll be DMing you and asking you, where can we find the stuff? Because it was providing value and it was solving a painful problem. So is your business solving a painful problem? Hey, Humphrey, that's the question you have to ask yourself. Like, if your business is not solving a painful problem, that's fine. It's time to relook and see, is there a more painful problem that I can solve, instead of beating this dying horse and feeling the pressure of not having finances or resources and still pushing because we were told that an entrepreneur is never supposed to give up. I'm not talking about giving up. Shutting down and staying on the mission is not giving up. It's changing course, but staying on the mission. So ask yourself, is there a more painful problem that you can solve? And then another thing you want to look at, that's the second thing. The third thing that you want to look at is, what's the market potential? Like, what's the size of your market? So are you looking at a market that is quite, small, or a market that is, neither here nor there? And do your research. Like, the government has so many. There's a Kenya National something. Is it KNH something? But there's a government database that it used to be under, I think, the Department of Devolution or something. Anyway. But there are lots of free documented government papers on research around market sizes, industries, like quite a number of these things, and they're actually free. Hey, thank you. Thanks, Humphrey. They're actually free. So you don't have to like go out and do your own research. You can actually go online, get these reports, download them to see what's the size of your market. Because you want to make an educated move. So you want to understand what's the size of the market that would buy your product. Because if the size of the market is very small, then your price has to be higher. Like, that's how it goes. If the market is small, your price has to be higher. If you can't charge high, then get out of that business. Because if you can only sell, a few items to a small market, then it's not worth it, because you won't be able to have that traction that you need. So look at your market, look at the numbers, the people you're helping. Look at their behaviors, like in those government reports. Look at their behavior. Look at what are the reasons people get loans. Like, that's in there. What are the sources of funding? One of the biggest sources of funding, and this is very informal, is actually kiosks. Like, kiosks fund, I think, 80% of the loans. They are bigger providers of credit than all the banks combined. Like, shocking. I got that from that government report. Like, these guys have such a wealth of information, and it's all free and it's online. Like, you can actually just download this stuff and read it. It will take you time, but it's some interesting data when you're in business and you're like, oh, there are how many households in Kitale, there are how many people are doing what in which part of the country. It's like really fantastic stuff. So look at whether your market size is big enough to make it worth your while. And if it isn't, reconsider. And then the fourth and my final one, and then you can ask me, like, let me know if you have any questions or anything. I love that I'm seeing, hey, welcome John, welcome Alex and Samuel, good stuff. So the fourth thing that I want to share with you, and you can always catch this on the replay if you missed the beginning. So the fourth is, look at the future of your business Is this, and ask yourself, is this something that will exist in 10 years' time? Because if it won't exist in 10 years' time, you have to make a plan for your exit or for your disruption. Like, you have to look at what are the new technologies that are coming that will make my business obsolete. Is it artificial intelligence? Is it, whatever it is, what are the threats to your business? Is it technology? Is it like pandemics? We never saw this coming, right? So you can look at your business and say, what does the future look like? In another 10 years, will my business still exist? Will there still be entrepreneurs for me to educate on how to do digital marketing? Or will that have been replaced by something else? If it's something else, what's the something else? And can I jump onto that bandwagon, or at least make sure that I've got my eye on that thing so that when I start to see that thing go up, I know when to get in? So ask yourself, like, what will disrupt you? Oh, the sun. Lovely. It's a lovely, let me move this. My tripod's a little funky. It kept moving around. So yeah, so ask yourself what that future looks like for your business, and whether your industry will be disrupted by anything. Like, what could be the threats? One of my biggest threats is one day we have a pandemic of the internet. Can you imagine if one day you wake up and there's no internet in the entire world, or in our country, just even our country? I was in Ethiopia once, when in Ethiopia they kind of monitor the internet, and one time they had actually switched it off for a couple of days. Let me tell you, as a person coming in from Kenya, luckily I was on tour, so I was moving around the country and everything. But as a person who comes from a place where we are so used to switching on your Wi-Fi and then you see like 20 suggestions for connecting to Wi-Fi, I was like, wait, this is really strange. So you can ask yourself the same thing, like, what would happen? What can disrupt me? So for me, I've already considered that question. In case the internet just disappears, I'll go back to doing physical classes or something, using text messages to send tips to people. So build my database of customers and their texts, because now we'll not have WhatsApp. So you think back and you're like, okay, so what are the threats that exist in the future, and will my business continue to exist in the future? Because if it won't, like, if it's temporary, let's say you see in another 5 years there could be a major disruption, then either prepare for the disruption in that you disrupt yourself, or you ride on the thing that may disrupt you if it's technology, or start planning your exit. So make your money now, make a lot of it, and invest it in your future. Like, actually, one of my favorite examples is the PayPal mafia. You know, the PayPal mafia with Kina Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, and a number of people. Square, I think Jack Dorsey was part of the PayPal mafia. But these entrepreneurs started PayPal. But if you look at them, most of them said that PayPal was really just a way to get money. So they used PayPal to get a big payout to then invest in the things they really loved. That's how Elon Musk ended up building SpaceX and doing Tesla. It's with the money that he got from PayPal. So that's something you can consider. Like, look at the future and say, hey, what does that look like? And do I want to continue in another 10 years? Or do I start setting myself up for my exit? And will my exit be profitable enough for me to do my next thing, which could be your mission? So yeah, so those are the 4 things that I wanted to share with you. And this was really triggered by the conversation that was happening in the comment section on my page. So I think that, yes, as entrepreneurs, we really have to organize ourselves better. Definitely. I know we lapse in a lot of ways, whether it's keeping your books, whether it's how you reach customers, whether it's having like two major customers and getting comfortable. So it could be all manner of things, but what I want is to be able to share with you some of these ideas to help, even if it helps that one person who's going through this thing, I'm going to be happy. So yeah, so that's what I love to do. And Gakungo, welcome. Methane. That's an interesting name. Ronald, Karibuni. So yeah, I've just shared my 4 ideas of what to do, whether you're considering shutting down your business or changing your business. So you can always watch this in the replay. I do not see any questions, so I will log off and say thank you for staying with me for the live. And I want to be doing more of these impromptu lives. Like this was so cool. I literally just turned on my camera so and positioned myself near the sun. So that was really cool. Okay, oh yeah, and put a little lip gloss. Cool. So it's been fun. Thanks for hanging out. Have an awesome weekend, and we will see you next week.